Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It is now Friday the, what is it actually? I don't know. 10th, Friday the 10th of April. It's a bank holiday because it's Easter weekend. And I'm just leaving work. Although it is only 4 o'clock and I didn't actually get here till probably 10:30, so not like I've done a full day. It's still a day working when it's bank holiday though. But many parcels backed up. I've got to keep plugging away at trying to clear the backlog. So I've got another bootload that I'm going to take to the petrol station. Because of course the Hermes collection guy isn't working. Well, I told him not to come. I'm not sure if he does work today or not. I think he might have been, but I didn't know when I was going to be in and leaving, and I didn't want to be hanging around waiting for him or not here when he came, so just said I'll parcel drop them all instead. And yeah, so been in today because the big news from last week was my roaster arrived. And I came up with a genius idea on how to get the various parts of it off their metal pallets without a forklift to achieve the job. So what I came up with was to actually jigsaw a hole in the ceiling stroke wooden floor above to allow the hoist winch to dangle through, which amazingly, because it runs from the very side wall where the hoist platform goes up and down. That's how you can get lots of heavy things upstairs with this hoist. But obviously when it gets to the top, you can pull it towards you, away from the hole, and it runs on this iron girder, and then drop the hoist platform down so you can easily access it and take things off.
K-band radar
so
check speed.
The winch itself does run quite a way across, so all I had to do was cut a hole through the floor, well, to ceiling and floor, that allowed the winch to drop through, and it was perfect positioning. So managed to get the loader hopper on top of the roaster. I mean, the hopper must be 45 kilos or something. It's a hell of a weight. Great big solid lump of metal. Obviously it's designed to have 30 kilos of coffee beans blown into it from below, and then hold them in there until I press the button to open the valve that lets the green coffee into the roaster drum. So got that up, got the cooling tray lifted off its pallet and slid into position in front, so now it does look like a roaster. And I've just been messing with the loader today. So got the loader all in position now. And just got to build up the pipe work, which is going to be a bit tricky, but we'll get there, you know. It's all time, he's got a bit of a ton. All time. So let's see, we'll do Mr. Nellis because he's going in, so we'll wait until he's been, and then I can get rid of my parcels. So I want to read it though. Oh dear, this is not good. Mr. Nellis. No, mail. Let's do mail. Mail app. Read that one. Right, here we go. So, Mr. Nellis says, things to talk about on your vlog. Me, as I've watched the Easter Story Keepers, very good. We can't believe it will be 4 weeks after Easter Monday, since our country's lockdown started. Actually, 3 weeks it will be exactly, because that's why the staff are going off furlough on Tuesday. Right, here we go. Right, so other things that he has to say. Boris Johnson in intensive care. He's actually out now, so he's recovering, which is good news for him. The second Addams Family film coming next year. I imagine a lot of films are now just going to be coming next year because a lot of filming has been stopped. No Great Yorkshire Show this year because they seriously have planned to cancel it already. Yes, something else that's been shut down. Someone else going in now. Where are they all coming from? Do you like basketball? Have you seen Space Jam? God, Space Jam's a bit of an old one, Richard. Yes, I've seen that. Have you ever been to Paris? No. I haven't. I've been to France, but never been to Paris. Right, need to get rid of all these parcels, so catch you in a minute. Okay, let's get on the road again. Charge. So, yeah, that's all the parcels dropped off. Why is it whenever I go with a load of parcels there, everyone turns up? It's just like, what? Why is everyone turned up just when I get there? But, anyway, we survived and got it all done. 30 odd parcels done today. Just to keep us ticking over. I've got to go in and do some more tomorrow as well. Even though they won't progress much through the system, I don't think, because of Easter. But, I mean, if I at least get them done and dropped off, they're going to be starting a progress somewhere, one way or the other. But yeah, it's just manic, absolute manic work's been. So I'm going to get some staff back Tuesday, hopefully, which will take some of the strain off, or at least it'll sort out the paperwork side, because the paperwork is just piling up, because that's not getting done, because all I've been doing is packing orders and roasting coffee and bagging coffee and packing orders, and just trying to keep everything going. So we had a pallet of green coffee come in to replenish stocks of green coffee, and I've ordered another pallet which is due in next week. So in fact, we had 2 pallets of green coffee come in last week, one of which I haven't touched yet, but that's because it's all brand new stock and I've got to list the product and I ain't got time to do that at the moment. So that'll get done when things calm a little bit. So yeah, as far as we go, it will be on Tuesday, as Mr. Nellis says, 3 weeks since the UK entered what is supposed to be lockdown, which is, the definition of is pretty vague depending on different people. Some people are just treating it like a holiday, some have just been pretty much carrying on as normal and not bothering. So I don't really know what to make of it, but all I know is we've just been as busy as always. Just instead of stuff going to businesses, it's been going to homes instead. So that's pretty much what's been going on with me. Hive and Steam blockchains, they're chugging away quite merrily. So obviously I've got 2 blockchains to play about with now. That's a lot of extra figuring out what to post and doing separate posts and trying to keep everything different ways. But I'm plodding along with it, one with the other. And obviously the progress with my roaster has been good posting fodder. few photos of the old roaster and everything else, and my various precarious winching exercises, winching up the various bits in the air and floating them about and then getting them back down where they need to be. So other than that, not a lot has been going on, because basically I've just been, jeez, now like stopping well short of the actual roundabout, is there?
Warning, K-band, radar,
Hello?
check speed.
I forgot what I was talking about now. Building the roaster, maybe. Oh, right, nothing else. I've done nothing else this week. No, I've not really done that. I've just been working, getting home, and sleeping. Looks like we might have some decent weather. I had a bit of sun last week. Family got back out in the garden a bit. And I got to spend a bit. I think Wednesday was quite nice. Got to catch a bit of the last of the sun on Wednesday evening. It looks like it's coming out now, so I'm out. Sort of pitched work perfectly today. And I've been in while it was relatively overcast and cloudy, and the cloud seems to be burning off a bit. We might get a bit of sun now for the rest of the afternoon, evening. So that'll be pretty good. I'll go and sit out in the garden now and enjoy the sun. So yeah, not really got a huge amount of other interesting things to say. Like I say, I've been pretty much locked up in work, just plodding along, getting on with stuff. Mostly packing orders and shipping them. Many orders. And of course, just there's loads of accounts, and like the VAT return was due, so I had to get that caught up with. And then the thing is, you just can't leave paperwork to build up, because it just becomes an impossible task, because it's constantly happening. You know, that's why we have someone in the office who's just doing invoices and filing and, you know, doing all that back end, because that's what they needed to do. And when they're not doing it, it just gets all very behind, and then it becomes an impossible task to catch up again, really. So I don't know how we're going to get on with that, because there's so much invoicing backed up. There's a lot of the Amazon and the eBay orders have not been invoicing them. I've just been printing the order sheet off and then putting it in a pile, stamped as shipped when it's gone. So they all need invoicing at some point. And we've got stock take at the end of the year, month, which is going to be very interesting, because there's so much stuff not being invoiced, the stock's not gone out of it, and we're not up to date with stuff, and goodness knows it's probably going to be a right mess, to be honest. Oh, so I don't know. At the moment it looks like we're staying in the same sort of lockdown situation we're in. Well, certainly for a few more weeks, before they relax it again, and we can start seeing a bit of normality. And I've just got to kind of wonder how long I can keep sort of riding these domestic orders and sales of coffee. Because the only problem is they're all relatively small, low value. The margin's not always that brilliant. It's just a huge amount of work, so I'm doing tons and tons of work for very little reward, really. Which isn't so great, especially as I'm having to do it on my own. So that's pretty much me done again. We shall see how the next week progresses. Obviously 4 days off for Easter. Today's day one. I think I'll be in work tomorrow. I might call in a little bit Sunday, I don't know. I think I'll probably be in Monday as well, to be honest, if I'm all fair. So, not really going to be a lot of difference Easter's for me. It's just going to be slightly less hours in work than normal. Right, have a good weekend and week next week, and I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog. Okay, see ya.